Let me count the ways. If you've been around this channel any length of time, then you know that black is my color of choice. I have a small wardrobe, consists of all black pieces with the exception of a few pieces that have a little bit of white in them. And today I'm just going to give you a video telling you why I only wear black. I will be referencing this video all the time in the comments because I get this question always, so you are welcome for those who have been asking me. First of all, it makes shopping fast and easy. It doesn't matter if I'm going into a secondhand store or if I'm purchasing something new. The black options are usually fairly limited, so I just go to those spots, see if they have what I want, and if they don't, I move on, and if they do, I try it on. It's very quick, very easy, very in and out, and I love that. It takes no time at all to get ready in the morning. I don't have very many options of clothing in my closet anyway, but the fact that they're all black makes it even easier. If I'm wearing a dress, I just throw that on with maybe a belt and a pair of earrings. Or if I'm wearing 2 or 3 pieces, I just layer those together. I like to go with different textures as well, so that way when I'm layering, it's not as big of a deal if they're not the same exact shade of black. It makes laundry so easy. To have my entire wardrobe completely washed, I just have to do the blacks. I don't have to worry about lights and brights or whites. I can just do that. Now I do extra laundry throughout the week, but when it comes to my clothing, I've just got that one load and I'm done. It's classy. I think of Audrey Hepburn or Jackie O when I think of all black. It's just so feminine and it's just full of class, and I think it really presents a picture of respect toward myself to others. It explains to them that I deserve to dress nicely and wear pretty things and look like I have class. Hello, it doesn't stain. I am a mother of a 3-year-old and I have one on the way. I don't want to walk around with stains on me. And now that my stomach is big enough that it's a shelf, this is huge because I'm constantly spilling stuff right at the top of my dresses or shirts, and it doesn't matter. I wipe it off, and I've got spray and wash in the closet, and sometimes I'll put it on there if I'm worried that it might make a difference down the road. However, I have yet to run into a stain that caused any type of defect in any of my clothes. It's timeless. Again, back to Jackie O and Audrey Hepburn. I'm not gonna look back in photo albums and think, oh my gosh, what was I thinking wearing that awful color? Black. Black is black, black is black is black is black. It's always been black, it's always gonna be black. It's timeless. This one's debatable, but I've heard that it goes with absolutely any skin tone. And that's great for me because I am just not fashion savvy and I don't totally understand the winters and the softs and the summers and the springs and how all of those seasons relate to what colors go well with my palette. And it doesn't matter, I don't have to because I just wear black. Speaking of seasons, black goes with any season, whether that's the seasons of the year or the seasons of life I'm going through. Black works. I can wear black to a funeral and I can wear black to a wedding and I don't look out of place. Wear black to church, wear black to a party, it just doesn't matter. I can wear it at any time during any season of my life. I can be pregnant, I don't have to be pregnant, whatever, it just works. Speaking of being pregnant, it's slimming. I have gained 30 pounds in this pregnancy and that number's only going up in the next 3 months. I like that black doesn't make me look bigger. And because it's so neutral, people look at my face more often anyway, and they're thinking about me and not what I'm wearing, and that alone is kind of a psychological slimming effect as well, and I really like that. It's dyeable. I have yet to dye my clothing because none of it has faded to a point where it needs it, but all of my clothes, I believe for the most part, can be dyed with just like a RIT dye, and I plan on doing that probably in the next year or so as my colors do fade more. And in fact, I've even considered buying secondhand items that may be faded just to try out this dyeing method because it's totally a way to prolong my good quality clothing that maybe doesn't last as long in the color department. And that's obviously so much easier than just going out and buying a whole new piece. And lastly, I don't want to be remembered for what I wear. I want to be remembered for how I live. Ironically, wearing all black is probably the boldest statement that I've ever made in my clothing before. However, no one in my real life, I think, even notices anymore, and I honestly don't think they ever did. They don't think of me as someone who has this incredible closet full of amazing clothes, but they also don't think of me as frumpy either, I don't believe. Maybe I'll have to ask just to make sure. But I would sure hope that people remember me for my personality anyway. And honestly, when we get down to it, that's how they remember us. They don't remember us for our closets. First impressions maybe, but other than that, they're remembering us for how we live. And really, when it comes down to it, I just choose not to invest any more emotional or financial resources of mine into my clothing when I can just keep it simple with wearing all black. So I hope that answered your question as to some of the reasons I have an all black wardrobe. It's probably not going to stay this way my whole life, but who knows, it might, because it makes my life deeply satisfying and really simple. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye!